What is happening, guys? My name is AG Hades, and welcome back to another YouTube video, where today I am going to be doing something a lot different than what I usually do. Now, what I usually do is obviously gaming, but today I wanted to try something new out, see how quickly this could catch on for me. This is my video talking about the history, going into the conspiracy theories, and going into the truth of the matter, and if I believe those conspiracy theories are fact or fiction on the Chernobyl disaster. And if you do enjoy these types of videos, please feel free to drop me a like, subscribe, and maybe comment down below if you enjoy these types of videos with very minimal gameplay, or if there is gameplay in the background, it's going to be covered up mostly by pictures of Chernobyl and its accidents. And I have some other stuff that I'm gonna put in the works, but please tell me how you feel about these types of videos. And just before this video completely starts, I want to say, let's not forget that Chernobyl, before this disaster happened, was a very nice place, and a very beautiful place at that, very lively, and everything in between. Let's get into the video. This was one of the biggest nuclear disasters in the world at the time. And with that, it caused many different conspiracy theories alongside the truth of the matter. It's on par with the amount of conspiracy theories as the JFK assassination. But here's the thing. I don't think that any of those conspiracy theories are anywhere near the truth, anywhere near the actual stuff. I think those are some of the very, very small things, very, very dangerous things about this. Now, let's get into the introductions of the portions. Background. On April 26, 1986, a sudden surge of power during a reactor system test destroyed Unit 4 of the nuclear power station at Chernobyl, Ukraine, in the former Soviet Union. The accident and the fire that followed released massive amounts of radioactivity. Emergency crews responding to the accident used helicopters to pour sand and boron on the reactor debris. The sand was to stop the fire and additionally release release of radioactive material. The boron was to prevent additional nuclear reactions. The following weeks after the accident, the crews completely covered the damage until in a temporary condition structure called the circuits to let further release of radioactive material. The Soviet government also cut down and burned about a square mile of pine forest near the plant to reduce radioactive contagion at the near the site. Chernobyl's three other reactors were subsequently restarted, but all eventually shut down for good. With the last reactor closing in December 2000. The Soviet nuclear power authorities presented their intel accounted report to an internal atomic emergency analysis meeting in Vanilla, Australia, and in August 1986. After the accident, officials closed off the area within 30 kilometers, 18 miles, of the plant, except for persons with official business at the plant, and those people evaluating and dealing with the consequences of the accident and operating the undamaged reactors. The Soviet and later on Russian government evacuated about 115,000 people from the most heavily commuted areas in 1986, and another 220,000 people the subsequent years. The Chernobyl accidents serve radioaction effects killed 28 of the state's 600 workers in the first 4 months after the event. Another 106 workers recaved high enough doses to cause acute radioaction sickness. 2 workers died within hours of the radiator explosion from radiological causes. Another 200,000 cleanup workers in 1986 and 1987 received doses of between 1 and 100 rem. The average actual radiation dose for the U.S. citizens is about 6 rem, 0.6 rem. Chernobyl cleanup activates eventually eventually required about 600,000 workers, although only a small fraction of those workers were exposed to alleviate level to evaluated levels of radioaction. Government agencies continue to monitor cleanup and recovery workers' health. The Chernobyl accident contaminated wide areas of Belarus, the Russian Federation, and Ukraine inhabited by millions of residents. Agencies such as the World Health Organization have been considered about radioaction exposure to people evacuated from those areas, and the majority of the 5 million residents living in condemned areas, however, recovered very small radioaction doses comparable to natural background levels, 0.1 rm per year. Today, the available evidence does not strongly connect the accident to radioaction. Indeed, increase the leukemia and solid cancer, other than thyroid cancer. Many children and adolescents in the area in 1986 drank milk contaminated by radioactive Indian iodine, which delivered subsequently doses to their thyroid glands. To date, about 6,000 thyroid cancer cases have been detected among these children. 99% of these children were successfully treated. 15 children and adolescents in the third countries died from thyroid cancer by 2005. The available evidence does not show any effect on the number of adverse pregnancy or outcomes, delivery, compliance, stillbirths, or overall health of children among the families living in the most contaminated area. Experts expected the same cancer deaths might eventually be attributable to Chernobyl over the lifetime of the emergency workers, evacuates, and residents living in the most contaminated areas, while cancer deaths cancer deaths have generally been far lower than intel suspicions of of tens of thousands of radiation related deaths, and a recent study of a cohort of emergency workers found a status scientific reveal the relative risks or solid cancer cadence and monitored. There are also psychological impacts on residents and evacuates from the disaster, including higher rates of depression, alcoholism, and anxiety. Over prenatal health effects. Residents report very negative self-assessments of health, unexpected psychological symptoms, and expression of a short life. The NRC continues to conclude that many factors protect U.S. reactors assigned against the combination of lapse that led to the accident at Chernobyl. Differences in plant design broadened safe shutdown capitalists and strong structures to hold in radioactive materials and help ensure U.S. reactors can keep the public safe. While the NRC reviews new information, it takes into account possible major accidents. These reviews consider whether safety requirements should be enhanced to ensure ongoing protection of the public and the environment. The NRC's post Chernobyl assessment empathized the importance of several concepts, including designing reactor systems properly on the drawing board, and implementing them correctly during consistent and mentoring, mentioning proper protection protocols, and controls for normal operations and emergencies, having complete, having competent and motivated plant management and operating staff, and ensuring the availability of backup safety systems to deal with potential accidents. The post-Chernobyl accident also ex- ex- examined whether changes were needed to NRC's regulations or guidance on accidents involving control of the chain reaction accidents when the reactor is at low or zero power, operator training, and emergency planning. The NRC's Chernobyl report response included three major phases. 1. Determining the facts of the accident. 2. Assessing the accident's impaction for regulating U.S. chemical nuclear power plants. And 3. Conditioning long-term studies suggested by the assessment. The NRC coordinate the fact-finding phase with other U.S. government agencies and some private groups. The NRC published the results of this work in January of 1987 as NUREG-20-1250. The NRC published the second phase results on April of 1989 as NUREG-1251. Implementation of the accident at Chernobyl, the safety regulation and chemical nuclear power plant in the United States. The agency concluded that the lessons learned from Chernobyl fell short of requiring immediate changes to the NRC regulations. The NRC published its Chernobyl follow-up studies for U.S. reactors in June of 1992 as NUREG-1422. While that report closed the immediate Chernobyl follow-up research program, some topics continue to receive attention through the NRC's normal activities. For example, the NRC continues to examine Chernobyl's aftermath for lessons on decontaminating structures and land, as well as how people are returning to formal condition areas. The NRC considers the Chernobyl expression as valuable piece of information for considering reactor safety issues in the future. The Chernobyl reactors, called RBMKs, were high-powered reactors that used graphite to help maintain the chain reaction and cooled the reactor cores with water. When the accident occurred, the Soviet Union was using 17 RBMKs and Lithuania was using 2. Since the accident, the other 3 Chernobyl reactors in additional Russia RBMK, and both Lithuania RBMK have permanently shut down. Chernobyl's Unit 2 was shut down in 1991 after a serious turbine building fire. Unit 1 was closed in November 1996, and Unit 3 was closed in December 1999, as promised by Ukrainian President Lyudmila and Lithuanian Ignera. Unit 1 was shut down in December 2004, and Unit 2 in 2009. As a consideration of the country joining the European Union, closing Chernobyl's reactors required a combined effort from the world's 7 largest economies, the G7, the European Commissions, and Ukraine. This effort supported such things as short-term safety upgrades at Chernobyl Unit 3, decommissioning the entire Chernobyl site, developing ways to address shutdown impacts on workers and their families, and identifying investments needed to meet Ukraine's future electrician power needs. On the accident's 10th anniversary, the Ukraine formally established the Chernobyl Center for Nuclear Safety, Radioactive Waste, and Radio Ecology in the town of Solovetsky. The center provides technical support to Ukraine's nuclear power industry, the atomic community, the atomic community, and nuclear regenerator regenerators. The Soviet authorities started to consider sarcophagus to cover the destroyed Chernobyl reactor in May 1986 and completed the extremely challenging job 6 months later. Officials considered the sarcophagus a temporary fix to filter radioaction out of the gases from the destroyed reactor before the gas was released to the environment. After several years, experts became considered that the high radioaction levels could affect the stability of the sarcophagus. In 1997, the G7, the European Commission, and Ukraine agreed to jointly fund the Chernobyl shelter implementation plan to help Ukraine transform the existing sarcophagus into a stable and environmentally safe system. That European Bank of Reconstruction and Development manage funding for the plan, which will protect workers, the nearby population, and the environment for diseases from the very large amounts of radioactive material still in the sarcophagus. The existing sarcophagus was stabilized before work began in late 2006 to replace it with a new, safe shelter called the New Safe Confinement. The New Safe, and I will pop up the picture that it shows on screen right now. Confinement structures, and here's what it says for the New Safe. Confinement structure was an upgraded project to design a new building that would completely enclose the existing sarcophagus to protect the consideration workers from radioaction. With the arc-sharp steel structure was assembled away from the damaged reactor building and rolled into place across steel reels over 350 feet high and 840 feet wide. It was the world's largest transportable building. In 2016, the new safe confinement was reasonably repositioned over the sarcophagus following finishing work and testing. It was transferred to Ukraine authorities in 2020. The new structure is designed to last at least 100 years. In 2017, consideration was completed on the intermittent spent fuel storage factor. In 2021, Ukraine regulations authorized de facto to accept Chernobyl's damaged fuel, which began arriving the same year. The factory was processed to store and spent fuel assembles for the undamaged units 1, 2, and 3 in dry double weld constructions designed to last at least 100 years. Now we're getting into my favorite types of portions within these stuff. So let's just get into it. This is a post called The Conflicting Truths, exploring the conspiracy theories of Chernobyl. A three-handed bird UFO and a secret mind controlling radiator walk into a bar. Well, the bar must be in Chernobyl. There's just a few examples of the many outlandish Chernobyl related conspiracy theories that have emerged since April 26, 1986, when reactor number 4 of the Varadar in Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded. While UFOs may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Chernobyl, they are, for many people, the following pieces aims to analyze Chernobyl conspiracy theories, specifically ones on originating from the US, Soviet Russia, and Ukraine. In an apparent to trace their origins and explore their deeper conspiracies for how we understand the instance of a large-scale tragedy. Epistemic motivation. Artists, when an involved or group feels they need to preserve a belief system when faced with uncontrollably, these conspiracy theories provide explanations and unexplainable considerations. Existential motivation. When invalid or groups existentially needs a threatened. These conspiracy theories provide a agency or control over a situation to lessen feeling or the feelings of powerlessness. The social motivation. When an individual or group decides to broad to broadcast a, a specific self-image after their identity is questioned by others. These conspiracy theories provide feelings of self-validation. United States. Shock factor and the sublime. There's an ambiance, a untrustworthiness of websites that include articles about Chernobyl conspiracy theories written by authors from the U.S. For example, this article titled Crazy Chernobyl Conspiracy Theories That Will Make You Think has a list of 10 conspiracy theories that place the blame of the explosion on aliens and weaponized earthquakes, and also includes tales of a human stroke hybrid and an immortal commune. The article also provides many images similar to the one featured on this page. In the Invenica, the district of Ukraine where Chernobyl is located, stories were passed around that a transferring humanoid creature with red eyes and wings was seen by the nuclear plants. Workers leading up to the accident. This creature was quickly dubbed the Blackbird of Chernobyl. People affected by this phantom experienced harrowing nightmares, intimidating phone calls, and waking visions. Researchers have since suggested the best was merely a black stroke that engaged suspicious native to Southern Europe or Southern Eurasia. The physical description given by witnesses, however, did not match the black stroke. The blackbird is thought to have been a deadly omen, warning them of their invisible fate. a 20-foot bird like monster staring through the thick irradiated smoke, never to be seen again. Book of Apocalypse Revelation 1:10-11. It reads, "And the third angel sounded the temperate, and a great star fell from the heavens, bringing as it were as it were a torch, and it fell on the third part of the rivers, the and upon the fetches of water. And the name of this star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters would become wormwood, and many men died in the waters because they were made better." In Russian word from for wormwood is, yes, you guessed it, Chernobyl. Did the Bible predict the Chernobyl accident? The fires of reactor 4 were linked to a torch by the firemen that that attended it, since it is thought the third temperate rephrases to the accent itself, and the water is better due to the radiation. The angel with the temperate pressed to her lips stands close to Chernobyl. The scripture created by Ukraine artist Anatoly Khadmik is a tribute to the brave firemen and lickers that lost their lives at the plant. There are theories that the Soviet Union destroyed reactor for themselves to gung the potential of weaponized and weaponizing the nuclear reactors within the U.S. This was at time when both countries in the midst of the Cold War, and seen addition of committing equally questionable actions in order to gain a leg up against the option. The overwhelming strength of the nuclear weaponry was well known. both the US and the USSR had vast nuclear arsenals and had extensively researched the devising effects of radiation throughout the 20th century. A meltdown of a nuclear power plant, however, had never been seen before. Was it further research on the effect of radiation and on the human body? Many complained that the Soviet authorities did very little, very late to protect civilians from exposure to radioactive conditions. Before I go ahead and end this video, I'm going to give you guys a little showcase on the random little images that I didn't use or just couldn't use within this video. So enjoy the little weird montage. Alright, so this is Future Hades, by the way, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, like, comment down below what you want to see me do next. This took me a couple days to finish the whole thing here. I was going to put some Dark Souls gameplay in the background. Went full blown retarded for a second and just didn't. But how long it took me to get all the information, all the images, everything. I will be linking literally everything that I use down in the description and in the pinned comment. But if you guys do want to see more like long form videos like this with some sort of gameplay in portions of the background, if that helps you guys focus more on the video than anything, please do let me know in the comment section. But if you like these longer formed videos, also let me know that in the comment section. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday if it's a holiday for y'all. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.